here we use the 10% down.
Okay.
Let's talk about typical purchase timeline. So this one, you get a pre-approval. So you've gone to the class, you earned your certificate. They talked all about first-time home buyer. And now you're out, you want to work with the lender to get pre-approved. So the lender will obtain the information that we talked about on the earlier slide: tax returns, pay stubs, bank statements. And we run the numbers and we say, hey, this is what you qualify for. Your realtor then takes that pre-approval letter and, based on the homes that are in the market at the time you're trying to buy, you make an offer, your offer is accepted. That's day one. Day two, inspections and appraisals are ordered. Appraisals are done by an independent person that's not connected to the transaction. So they don't represent the bank, they don't represent you, the buyer, they don't represent you, the seller. It's an independent person that knows the market and puts a value on the property. The report typically comes back in 2 weeks, 21 days. Once the appraisal's back, you open escrow. We are in a state where there's a middle person between all parties. That's the title company. Title company accepts your deposit, and we call that the earnest money deposit. When you make an offer, the seller accepts your offer. You, the buyer, make an offer. The seller accepts your offer. And you put up 3% or 1%, whatever the guidelines are. That's your good faith that you're going to close. Okay, so it goes into the title company. Title company then, day 7, they perform what's called a title search. They take your property address, they look at the property description, and they pull all liens associated with that property. When you're buying a home, you want to make sure there's no one else ahead of you, and there's no unopened liens or unsatisfied liens ahead of you, because you don't want someone, after you close escrow, to come down and say, hey, that's my uncle's house, get out. So the title company is the independent party that performs a title search on that property. And they provide that information to the lender to ensure that the lender's loan is in the first position, that there's no one else ahead of the loan that the lender is considering placing. You as the buyer, day 9, day 10, should get a copy of that appraisal. The appraisal is going to outline the property, the details, any improvements, the comps, how did they get to the value, there's a calculation, and so that you have a good idea of the value of the home that you're considering buying. Day 10, the lender will give conditions, okay? So we get inspections, we get appraisal, and we want to make sure everything is satisfied and the house is in order for you to receive it safely. So if there's water or mold or something like that, all that has to be addressed before you, the new buyer, take possession. There's what's called contingencies. There's loan contingencies, so you got to have all your financing in order before you close escrow. You got to have all your improvements, and everything has to be satisfied before we get to close of escrow. You'll get a document called the final closing disclosure that will outline all the fees, credits, and debits that are associated with your purchase, and so that you and the lender can have a thoughtful conversation before you go to loan signing. Day 20, you're going to basically have a walkthrough of the home, make sure that you're taking, everything has been satisfied and it's in the order that you had originally offered with no damage, no changes. Day 21 to 30 is when the loan is funded. All these things are happening behind the scenes. You as the buyers aren't really involved. But these are the things. Your lender is always working with your program, working with the title company, working with your realtor to ensure that all these key dates are met. And I heard a bell, so I'm going to quickly go through refi and then we'll wrap it up for questions. So refi 101. If you're already a homeowner, yes, we are in an extremely low rate environment now. So if you took a loan 24, 36, 48 months ago, we're in a different market. And now is a great time for you to check in with your lender to see if you can realize some cost savings. Maybe you have some home improvements that you'd like to do on the home. Right. Or maybe you'd like to if you've had the home for 10, 20 years, maybe you want to pull out some cash and purchase another unit. So now it's a great time to look at, because we're in a super low rate environment, to look at options of, kind of leveraging any property that you have. Or, if you're impacted by last year, maybe getting your payment down a little lower is another option. So refi just to pull out cash, pay off debt, not a good idea. But if you have a strategy, if you want to leverage, if you want to improve the home that you live in, those are great ideas. Those are great times to pull out cash on a home that you currently own. It should be noted here that in a refi situation, sometimes you can get into a home 3% down, 10% down, 20% down. When you're refining, the loan to value is always going to be a little lower because there's more risk in a refi versus a purchase. And so lenders aren't going to allow you to maximize like when you're purchasing. So just know sometimes there's going to be lower loan to values available through a refinance versus when you take on more loan to buy the home. And like I said, it's a great time. This is a great environment right now to check in with your lender to see if any rates are better. And even if you can't refi, it's always great to ask your lender if you could modify the loan that you currently have. Because good. Modifying just means that you are keeping the same loan in place and just adjusting one thing. Maybe it's the date. Maybe it's the interest rate. So that's another great way to not have to do a full refi. And sometimes people refi out of their current mortgage. Maybe you took FHA to buy the home. You're in a better financial position, and now you want to look at conventional and dropping that private mortgage insurance or MIP. And again, if you plan to be there for a longer period of time, getting a better interest rate over time just saves you on interest. So it's a great time this is a great environment to check in and see if there's some cost savings there. Things that we look at in a refi: what's the current value of your property? How's your current credit? What's your income? What's your overall debt? The underwriting isn't as strenuous as the purchase, but there are milestones that you have to meet to be eligible for some refi programs. So what I've walked you through is basically, what we've just talked about prepares you to work with any lender in San Francisco Bay Area or beyond. These are key things that people are going to need from you so that, they can assist you with first-time home buying, refinance, debt management, having a healthy debt. If you do the work now, and maybe now is not the season for you to purchase a home, but maybe in the future, that's one of your goals and desires, and you need to do some work. This is kind of the footprint of how do you prepare to even start the conversation so that financing and can take advantage of changes in market. Don't fall victim or don't fall into the trap of no one can afford a home now. That's not true. Banks are closing loans every day. And, there's no one size fits all. This may not be your season, but your season may be coming. So you want to do that work now so that when it is your season, you're ready to go. Amen. And so assembling your team and making sure you're working with the right professionals to get a financial house in order is the way to go so that, again, you can take advantage of opportunities. Maybe it's a first-time home buyer program, but they have minimum thresholds that you got to meet. So again, this is the time to do that work. And as Christians, we share information, we help each other, and this is important. So I'm happy to be with you all tonight and share just a little bit about the process that I know, and happy to be a resource for you as you begin this journey, to home ownership and beyond. So thank you.
Hillary, real quick, my question is, there's this controversy between FHA and conventional loan. Yeah. Can you explain that, the pros and cons?
Yeah, FHA is the loan for everybody. So you are a pulse, you get an FHA. No, that's not true. But FHA has its place in the marketplace, right? If you don't have the gift of having 20% down in most purchases, many of us have to take advantage of FHA. The key to FHA is have an exit plan and try your best to be selective about where you're buying so that the home value is going up, and continually work on your own financial budget in your finances so that you can become eligible for a conventional mortgage. That's the key. So there's no one size fits all. Many doctors take advantage of FHA to get in when they're doing their residency. That's the only way they can afford, on their residency income. But everybody has a plan. So you always want to, create a plan. And I always say 12 to 24 months, try your best to try to exit out of FHA. It's a very expensive loan to have to pay what's called MIP, mortgage insurance premium, on top of your payment. So the rates are competitive and they offer good rates, but you have this extra couple $100 that you're paying that, so hopefully you can graduate out of FHA as soon as you possibly can. And they will allow you to, over time, they have their own streamline modification you can do, but you want to try to get out of FHA and onto conventional as soon as you possibly can.
Okay, that's good.
And same with city programs, state programs. California has the CHDAP and other down payment assistance programs and, other 3% down programs. Those are all great programs. But when you go into those, you just want to understand the rules of engagement and have a plan. So if that's your only way to purchase a home to get in, fair enough, right? That's your only way to get in. You don't qualify for conventional right now. But in your mind's eye, you should be saying, all right, I pay down a little bit of debt. I make on-time payments over the next 12 months, 24 months. I show myself eligible for conventional. And you talk to your lender, keep close to your lender. How do I qualify? And then make a plan to get out of those programs that are a little bit more costly because they have it's a little bit more risky lending. So of course there's more fees built in. But have a plan. Try to get your scores up so that you can take advantage of, because that money can be going to other long-term goals. Right. Great vacation, ties to the church, other things that you want to do with your money, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
That was amazing.
Thank you. We are definitely going to be happy you come back.
Absolutely.
This is good.
Happy to be here with you. Definitely. Happy to share.
We thank you. Can we all show Hillary Bird some love right there on social media? Let's just show her some love, put them hearts, tell her how much you appreciate her tonight, coming out of from working herself today and to partnering with us tonight. Man, she is so much full of knowledge. She's a wealth of knowledge and information and wisdom, and 20 plus years, I believe she said. And,
yes.
God is just so. We have countless of men and women within our assembly who is working towards buying their home. And so we thought that it would be so befitting that we will kick off our financial literacy time with just some wisdom, some knowledge, some wisdom about where to start, how to do it, where to go, who to turn to, what's best for me, what's not best for me, or how can I swing this so that I can get where I want to get to. And so I want to thank you for your presentation. I want to thank you for your time. It was absolutely needed, and we just can't wait to see what we further partner with you about.
And Hillary, can you just one more time put your contact information up for some of our members who may want to contact you? This was really good information.
It was
really good
phenomenal.
information. Really good.
I hope y'all enjoyed it out there.
And we know, as she getting her information, it's scary. It's scary who to trust as far as a real estate agent and lenders. And let me tell you, don't hesitate. Give Hillary a call. Give us a call. We can contact Hillary and get some information from you all. We're going to be planning something soon to have her come back. But this is information that the church really don't have when it comes to first-time home buyers. And most of us caught ourselves up in the pickle because we were so eager to get into the house. And once we've been in there 2 to 6 months, we feel like we're stuck. And so...
Yeah, and I think you did an amazing job with just going step by step. I wish I would have had someone take me step by step when we bought our home. We didn't get it like that. We just jumped on in and as we went, and a very stressful process. But if we would have had somebody like you, it would have been good.
Do you refer real estate agents?
I always do it in threes, right? Because it's not one size fits all.
Okay.
And so I always do it in threes. Same with lenders. I always do it in threes.
Okay.
And, you know, I try to do people that offer education, guidance, patience. And, you know, because for many, this is their first time.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of questions. And you really want to feel like the person's going to be there to answer your questions and help guide you through the process. Okay. And so that's what I try to do, and I try to partner with others that are like-minded.
Okay, that's good. And I know we had a question, and I promise it's going to be my last. What happens when they run your credit?
Oh, yeah.
And you get a no, and you said to us, you know, keep going. But is that considered a hard inquiry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be a hard inquiry. The rules kind of changed in the last 2-3 weeks where lenders aren't just willy-nilly running your credit. But when you're in the home buying process, try to get the lender to pull your credit within a 30-day window. The impact to your score is less. But you need to shop around, and the reason for that is Bank A, you need to look at loan estimate A, loan estimate B, and see where the best deal is. And the only way to have that information is for the lender to have fair access to your credit score. So in the mortgage, try to do it in 30-day windows. Try to talk to 2 or 3 lenders, get their loan estimate, take a look apples to apples, making sure that you're picking the program that's the best fit for you. As far as credit cards, try to limit your credit card usage, credit card applications, 2-year increments. Inquiries fall off after 2 years. And when you are out shopping around for credit, that's the biggest thing. I know it seems like it shouldn't make sense, but that's how the model is set today. So if you know in the next 6 months you're going to be, or 12 months, 24 months, you're going to be looking to buy a home, settle in on the credit, try to get those credit cards under 30% usage. It's going to take discipline, but you got to do it because everything that you do now is tied to your credit score. The cost of your car insurance, the cost of renting an apartment, you name it, are pulled and considered. So it's not just for home ownership, big ticket items, but you want to try to limit shopping around for credit. If you don't need the credit, don't take the credit, right? Because the more you pull an inquiry and apply for credit, it changes off 2, 3, 4, 5 points. And the bigger thing is if you carry balances over 30% of your line. So this is where discipline comes in, especially, for a big ticket item like a home. If you have a $1,000 credit card, you don't want to use more than $300. You got to build that discipline because that will impact what you pay for your long-term debt. So build that discipline. Don't have several cards that are over $10,000. Most loan programs require you to have 2 open lines with 24 months history. So try your best to try to live within those lines. Again, it's not forever, but it is. If you want to maximize opportunity, you want to try to get the consumer debt down and try to get it under 30% usage, and you'll definitely see it increasing your score over a short period of time. And if you like rewards, rich people don't use rewards, all right? That's for the poor people. That's for the low to moderate income people. So you get a free night here or free food there. Nothing is free, not even in the credit world. So try your best. Once you settle in, and this is key too. When you're looking at big ticket items, cars, homes, you want to, I lost my train of thought. Major changes to jobs, income, assets, debt. You want to limit those so that any changes just require further underwriting, further questions, further documentation. So when you're in this process, try to keep a low profile, no major changes to income, assets, and debt. And if you have any of those changes while you're in the process, you need to let the lender know because that could impact your ability to receive final approval.
We have a question, and that question is, how long is the pre-approval letter good for?
Typically 30 days.
Okay. Any other questions?
It's your chances.
We have an expert. Well, just in case they're typing, again, Hillary, thank you so much for just being a wealth of wisdom and knowledge and sharing and imparting this information into us tonight. We're moving forward, and we're going to begin to also, you guys get to hang out with Hillary again. And then we're going to be talking about as well within the next week, I believe, about investments and things of that nature. And so stay tuned. We're here to just expose ourselves and just get a wealth of knowledge so that we can be great stewards over what God has given us and what God has blessed us with. All right. And so we thank you, Hillary, and we look forward to what God continues to do through this journey with all of you. All right. Listen, those of you who are on tonight, you can still watch your question. Thank you, Hillary. Those of you who are on tonight, you can have a moment of giving. All right, let's have a moment of giving. Send your seeds in. The information is on your screen now where you can send your seeds to give. All right, and so something tonight. We've had so much information. Let's just put a seed in the ground. Even if a lot of you who are, aspiring and working towards buying your first home, or buying a home, or refinancing, whatever stage you are in, tonight I challenge you to put a seed in the ground tonight. All right, don't let this night end without you putting a seed in the ground. All right, put your seed in this ground, and you put a demand on that seed and say, you know what, God, this seed is for me to purchase my home. This seed is for favor. I'm believing for you to work miracle signs and wonders, open up doors, lead me to the right people to help thrust me into what we believe you have called us to do, or we believe that you have for me in this season. All right, so put a seed in the ground, and not only put your seed in the ground, but put a demand on your seed. All right, put a demand on your seed tonight. We love you, friends, and we just pray that God will continue to bless you. We pray that God will continue to bless you. We pray that God will continue to put you in the pathway of who He has intended to be a blessing in your life. All right. The Bible says that He will cause men to give into your bosom. And so we want God to put us in the pathway of those individuals whom God has divinely ordained to be a blessing and push us into, or bring us into, in whatever capacity, what He has for us in this season of our lives. All right. We hope that you enjoyed tonight. We are absolutely right on time, and so we hope you guys enjoyed it tonight. Any of your questions, please continue to send them to us. We will get them to Hillary, and Hillary will answer the questions for you. All right, and so I look forward to seeing you all Sunday and worshiping with you this week. Yes. Here is War Cry Sunday. War Cry Sunday. All right, War Cry Sunday. Register tomorrow at the HumanityChurch.Online. You can register tomorrow at the HumanityChurch.Online. Okay, we love you with the love of the Lord. The peace of the Lord be with you.